Hey everyone, welcome back and welcome to Windsor Castle. This is the largest inhabited castle in the world and the oldest castle that has been continuously occupied. I'm going to take you on a tour inside Windsor Castle and around Windsor. With over 1,000 years worth of history, and even the Queen is in today. Sit back, get a cucumber sandwich or a cream tea and enjoy. So just starting outside of the castle, I'll show you a little bit more of Windsor itself after we did the tour, so stick around for that. The camera does not do it justice, just how big Windsor Castle is, how vast it is as well. If the Queen ever wants to pop out for a McDonald's or maybe get a McTakeaway, there is one there. So to get into Windsor Castle, you do have to book online. All these people are actually queuing up for the 10:30 entry. However, I'm a little bit late. I've got tickets for the 10 o'clock, so hopefully I can go in a little bit quicker. So obviously we've got to go through security, which obviously I can't film. But look at that photo, the Queen and her great-grandchildren. So got through security, toilets there as you come in. To the castle we go. And obviously everyone has to stay off the grass, so even on a nice sunny day, if you think to yourself, oh, I'll come here and have a bit of a picnic, you will be told off. So of course, as it's the Platinum Jubilee year, this is even more popular than normal. I would say earlier in the day is best and late. Obviously we'll be heading into the castle. This is St George's Gate. I believe the Queen does come through here. And if you can see that, there's someone cutting the grass. That is what you call a very impressive lawnmower. So what's good, at no extra cost you can get a free multimedia headset to give you a complete audio tour of the castle, and there's different points where you kind of stop and press the number and it gives you bits of information. Got this really beautiful garden as well, just surrounding one of the main towers here. Wonder if the Queen ever walks around here, or any members of the royal family. Obviously being very close to Heathrow, you'll hear the planes consistently. So I'm looking to go into the entrance. We've got the North Terrace, Queen Mary's Doll's House and the State Apartments. Wonder if the Queen has problems sleeping at night. So the queue is pretty long to head inside, and as you can see, obviously it is amazing inside, but photography obviously is limited. But I'm going to show you where the Queen actually lives. So this place will look familiar, especially if you watch the wedding of Harry and Meghan. But if we have a look just over there, that is the royal residence of Her Majesty The Queen, and that's basically where a lot of the royal family live. And obviously the Queen's bedroom is over there. Someone was cutting the grass earlier. It does look beautiful, obviously all ready for the celebrations. You can see the Queen's Guard just there, and we can't really get the shot that we want to get really, but just through there is what they call the Long Walk. Obviously that big long driveway up to Windsor Castle, which you would have seen at Harry and Meghan's wedding. And honestly, if I wanted to get in here, look, press to open gate. I wonder how much trouble if I actually did that. I just heard one of the tour guides mention that the Queen is in the upper ward today, which is literally just there. So if I zoom in, can we get a glimpse of Her Majesty the Queen? Not today. So walking away from King John's Tower and where the Queen's residence is, we're walking through here, and I find this really interesting. Someone will probably tell me in the comments, but there's a post box just here, and they actually do collections. Amazing. So if you love dollhouses, I suggest you come in to see Queen Mary's dollhouse. It is in amazing detail, in a controlled environment for temperature and humidity. It's worth having a look. Governor's office there. These gardens though are just so pretty, and there's a bit of a water feature running down from there as well that's running through. There's something about cut grass and lines that I just absolutely love. No matter how many times I try, I can never get my garden to look this good. The surroundings of Windsor Castle obviously steeps in over 1,000 years of history, and it is undoubtedly beautiful. So St George's Chapel in the grounds of Windsor Castle. Obviously I can't film in there, which is a bit of a shame. I don't understand why they say that, but you're not allowed to. But it is very impressive. I can actually show you the photo of what it looks like inside. You can just see how beautiful the roof is. So of course I have to go and see the Queen's Guard here at Windsor Castle. It would be wrong not to. Now you can get pretty close to these guys, and if they see a threat they will use force, so you literally can't take the mick, but you can go pretty close. Obviously I'm going to give him a little bit of respect and be a little bit further away. He's quite a young guy actually. You think to yourself, does he get bored doing this? And yes, that is a real gun. It's not a toy with a knife on the end of it. And what you see is some people will literally go right up to the guard. Sometimes they're a little bit worried about how close they can go. Some people go closer. You can't exactly ask them. Oh, he's trying it, look. Afternoon. So when you come out of Windsor Castle, you might think to yourself, actually I want to drink, and the best place to do that is here in the Horse and Groom, and also have a walk down Market Street. And any Harry fans, there is a pub down the end here called the Prince Harry. This is the Carpenter's Arms. It's amazing how many pubs there are here in Windsor. There's quite a lot. Look at that house. Now this is actually a shop, right, that is to let. Don't adjust your screens. This is actually what it looks like. I'll just show you the front of it because this is such a great building here in Windsor, and the fact that at the time of filming you could actually let this, I would go for it. So it's obviously very posh around here. They've got a Scotch shop selling just Scotch, and they've even got a special Platinum Jubilee flavour, which is rhubarb and ginger. Apparently it's colour changing. Wow, that looks good. And what's really interesting is this is actually the earliest surviving building connected with the government of Windsor. It was built, I think, around about 1518 for the Trinity Guild. Almost looks like there's street parties going on here, but this is just restaurants. And even Charlotte's got her own pub here as well, Queen Charlotte. Now, if you would like to have a selfie with the Queen, I suggest you come into this ice cream shop, because there she is. And the crazy thing is when people walk past, they actually think the Queen is in here ordering ice cream. What would you like, Mum? Butterscotch? I wonder what her favourite ice cream is, we'll ask. Do you know if the Queen has a favourite ice cream?
Her favourite ice cream?
Yeah. Classic vanilla, no frills. And what almost seems like in the middle of the road, there is this amazing statue of Queen Victoria. Obviously all the bunting is out here in Windsor. So if you want to do a little bit of shopping whilst in Windsor, this is the street to go down. This is Peascod Street. There's a Starbucks down there, there's a body shop and a Boots. So obviously whilst in Windsor, you can get your Queen merchandise for a lot cheaper than you can if you were get it over in the castle. But obviously this is a lot more tackier, but I think also equally brilliant as well. You can get t-shirts, face masks. I don't know what that's doing there, that looks a little bit out of place. You can get bags, and obviously you can get your own flag as well. So right now I'm going to take you to the Royal Windsor shopping area. Just on the left, a very posh restaurant indeed. A few of these around the UK. In London, got the Ivy. So this is so unique. This is the Windsor Royal Station, which is still a train station, but also a place to come for shopping and eating, and there's some posh shops down here as well. So look at this. This is actually a coffee shop, and you can still see the old ticket booths here as well. So you walk into the area of where the platforms used to be. Look at that, there's a Cafe Rouge, Cafe Nero. It's an odd sensation. Look at that. It's weird, it still feels like there should be trains here rather than restaurants. But talking of trains, as we go through a very boutique part of the shopping centre, all these tiny little shops, restaurants I think they are. We see this. So this is a replica of the Queen, which was part of the Royal Train back in the 1800s, stopped service back in 1912. So if you ever arrive in Windsor by train, this is the Windsor and Eton Central Station. This is where it pulls in. And straight away, as soon as you get off the train, you see all the Queen's memorabilia. At the end of the platform, there's two British telephone boxes. Question is, are they still working? Because the amount of telephone boxes I come across that actually don't work anymore because people don't use them. Are they working? We're in Windsor, let's hope so. They are. Wow, it's 60p to make a call now. I remember when it used to be 10p. They've even got the phone number there. I remember as kids I used to ring random phone boxes and see who would answer. This goes to show how big this train station used to be. Obviously now just one platform, and in some of the old buildings as well within the station have actually turned into restaurants. And you can even see the original clock for the train station just up there. So I am now on the long walk, which you can see behind me, which is roughly 2.64 miles. And if you actually want to walk all the way down to the monument at the end and then walk all the way back up towards Windsor Castle, it will roughly take you, get this, around about 3 hours. That's if you're walking at a comfortable pace. But from this angle, you get a great view of Windsor Castle. And of course, during big celebrations, this is the main entrance into Windsor Castle. And obviously, you may remember the wedding day of Harry and Meghan driving their beautiful car all the way down here as well. So another interesting spot here in Windsor, just behind the War Monument, there are a couple of post boxes which are quite special. So this first post box, this navy one, is a coronation aerial post box, which was used to send letters between 1930 and 1938 for overseas. It's not in use now. Obviously you've got a bulk standard post box, but look how special this is. I don't know who's actually done this, but it's to raise money for a local hospice, but commemorating obviously for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, 70 there. Look at that, you've got the corgis, you've got the beef eaters, the Queen's Guard. Isn't that great? And something you don't see much of anymore, a place to actually get stamps. These were used, I think, well back in the early 80s and 70s, but look at that, 50p for a book of stamps. It's empty, but I love that. That looks so cool. Yeah, so when you come to Windsor, come and check out these 3 post boxes, and also there's an ancient well here. It's almost like there's a collection of British memorabilia that you've got to definitely check out, including a great big British red phone box. Don't know much about this history of this well, but I think it was obviously for the town. I don't know whether the Queen used it. I would have doubted that. Isn't that amazing? If you'd like to see Her Majesty's Royal Palace and Fortresses, the Tower of London, click the video here. Or if you fancy seeing Buckingham Palace, click here. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and make sure you click that notification bell. I'll see you next time.